Hey guys, it's officially been 1 year since I quit my job as a finance bro to pursue creating manga and webtoons in New York City full time. Being in New York has nothing to do with my career, I just like being here. I've learned a lot since I quit my cushy job to pursue a very different career path than what most would do in the United States. And I'm here to tell you guys about some of the lessons I've learned. My situation might be a little bit crazier than most because being a manga or webtoon creator in the United States was not an actual job until a couple of years ago. At some point, no one could create a full-time living off of creating Eastern comics in the United States. It was just not viable. Even if you live in Japan or Korea, it's still really hard to make a living off of just comics. So if that's the case, why would it be possible in America? Well, luckily for me, Asian comics popped off in popularity during the COVID pandemic, and I just so happened to be creating anime style stories my entire life. So I have a massive backlog of stories that I've already been doing, had a great network of people that I've been working with, and I was already able to hit the ground running in this industry that is still very early stage in the West. And it's just so great to find out that there's a lot of people in the US and internationally that are now down to enjoy anime style content. Let me tell you, the anime, manga, webtoon space is so interesting. If you want to learn more about it, make sure to smash the like button, the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe, because that's all I talk about, because that's all I do. Anyway, let's get into the topic. This is what I learned from quitting my job to become a full-time manga/webtoon author. First thing is the importance of a financial plan. If you quit any job that pays you quite well, you should have some kind of understanding of what your financial situation should be once you jump ship. Otherwise, you're really just hopping off a cliff without a parachute. If you don't know how much money you need to survive, if you don't know how much money you need to deal with all your expenses, that's not a very good plan. You probably shouldn't quit, So money is unfortunately what keeps us alive. And so when I quit my job, one thing that was really going through my mind was, what the heck am I going to do about money? How do you make money making manga and webtoon as an American? Not even just American. How do you do that if you're not in Japan or Korea? I'm in our fields. Money is hard. So guess what I did? I made a PowerPoint. I planned out how much money I needed to survive, like budgeting for a year. And I also made a plan for how much money I would need to make in year 1, year 2, year 3, etc. in order to justify me staying on this crazy dream career path. So basically, if I don't make this amount of money, I give up on my dream for a little bit. That's the price. That's the price. And I'll tell you guys what numbers I made. My plan was year 1, I need to make $40,000 to justify continuing to be a manga/webtoon author. That's already more than most mangaka make in Japan, so that's actually pretty ambitious, but that's the amount that I probably need to survive in New York City. It's pretty expensive here. And in year 2, I was planning to do $60,000. So hopefully I'm making more money the longer I'm doing it, right? It's the end of year 1. I smashed through all the goals by an insane amount, so don't worry. I'm still going to keep doing this for the foreseeable future. The dream still goes on. We did it. We're okay. I'm eating. But, if anyone's planning on quitting their jobs, pursuing their dream, make sure to have a financial plan. Make sure you know how much you need to survive and what you need to keep going. Second thing that I learned from last year is the importance of discipline. Ultimately, discipline, if you didn't know from my previous video, I'll link it right here. I had already been pretty disciplined in terms of forcing myself to work. I worked from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on my normal finance job, and then I would close my computer, open up another laptop for writing, and I would pretty much just write until 1 a.m. in the morning every single day during the week. And then on the weekends, I would work a full day on writing. So I pretty much had no social life for 2 years during COVID. All I did was work. And so that was purely discipline. I don't think people have to have that level of work ethic. I don't think people have to grind like that. It's not very healthy. It's not very fun. You don't make friends doing that. Take care of yourself. But I think what is important is the ability to force yourself to work even when you don't want to work. Force yourself to show up for the situations, because ultimately if you're working for yourself, if you jump ship to chase your dream, if you don't have a boss to tell you what to do, if you don't have the pressure of getting fired, you're the one who has to put that pressure on yourself to get up every day, roll out of bed, to go to sleep early, to get on calls at 1 a.m., to do whatever it is that you need to do to follow your dreams, right? I think discipline is super important, not just if you're self-employed, just in general in life. So discipline super important. I think the third thing that I learned about this year, and this is not something I would have learned unless I did, reach the point that I'm at, is the importance of outsourcing. I'm at the point where ultimately I have so much work, which is amazing, right? I have so many clients, I have so many people asking me to do work, I have so many projects I've sold, the webtoon tapas, etc. And I'm only just one guy. I'm just one guy. I can only write so many stories, right? I can write 10 stories, but what if I sell 20 stories? Then what do I do? So ultimately, you need to be able to outsource the work that maybe you're not the best at, right? For manga and webtoons, obviously I outsource stuff that I can't do. So like storyboarding, line art, coloring. I outsource like half the workload right there. I also started outsourcing video editing. I used to edit these videos by myself. I still edit all the shorts myself. With the long form videos, I have an editor, Dawa. Thank you for editing this video. But yeah, I just don't have time to edit these videos. So ultimately, I think it's really important, even if it costs you some money, you're investing in yourself to buy back your time. Consider outsourcing the things that are eating up your time, and someone else can probably even just do better than you if you just pay them some money. Ultimately, teamwork makes the dream work. I think the fourth lesson that's really important is sacrifice. This is mostly for entrepreneurs, but there's like that meme where you quit your 9 to 5 to work 24/7, and that's 100% true for me. I work all day, every day, right? Ultimately, it doesn't feel like work because I'm chasing my dreams. This is what I enjoy doing. This is what I did in my free time, right? I wasn't out there like playing video games or doing all this stuff. Like in my free time, writing and creating stories is what I do. So this is ultimately like I'm not like it's work, but not really, right? But when you have friends and family and you dating life and all that stuff, it can be hard, right? You have to sacrifice a lot. Like dating, super hard to do when you don't have time during the week at night to go out with someone. Hanging out with friends on the weekend, when you work on weekends, it's also a very difficult thing. Going on vacations, you have to work on your vacations and all your trips. You have to sacrifice a lot. And ultimately, for me, I hope that this is not going to be like my future forever, right? I'm not going to be working every single weekend for the rest of my life. That's not my goal. My goal is to work a lot now so that I can build the foundation for a future where I don't have to do that. I'm still going to work hard no matter what. But ultimately, I hope I can take a vacation or two and find the time to find a girlfriend, because otherwise I'm just going to be here by myself in my studio forever, just working on manga forever. But yeah, I'm mostly kidding. I do find ways to, balance all these things. But I think that ultimately, being able to sacrifice a lot of your free time when you quit your job to pursue your dreams, like that's natural, right? It's a natural sacrifice that you make for freedom. And now the fifth lesson is going to be about ego. I think this is super important, and I would not have learned this unless I experienced some level of success, right? I think ego is something that a lot of successful people in all industries really have to battle. And I've met so many people with massive egos in my industry in particular. And I can see it, right? Once you taste it, it's really easy to lose yourself and think that you're the shit. There was a stage like a month or two, or maybe, a couple months, where I thought I was the shit. I thought I was the shit because I was creating manga and webtoons in the United States, and there's not a lot of people doing that, and not a lot of people can tell shonen style stories. I still think that I'm very confident in my ability to produce these stories, but bragging about it and all this stuff, that's not gonna do anything except for make people think that you're a dick, right? If you think that you're the best, you can't get better. I have a lot of confidence in what I do, but it's super important to remember that there's always more to learn, and that if you think you're the best, you're probably on an ego trip. I don't even know how it's possible for me to ever think that I'm the best when there's people like Ichiro Oda, the manga of One Piece, who exist out there and are just pumping out like insane levels of content, right? It's just impossible. You can't think you're the best. There's always someone who's better than you. Like, don't ego trip. Be confident. Ego, when you taste it, make sure to take a step back. Be confident. Don't fall into arrogance. All right, last lesson. Network is your net worth. Total facts, you've heard it somewhere, it's actually facts. So many opportunities have come to me out of just knowing talented people. I market myself a lot on the internet. I put myself out there like on videos like this, and really incredible people reach out to me, like the executive producer of Arcane League of Legends reached out to me, and now I'm creating a series in collaboration with her and creators from CD Projekt Red, who created The Witcher, if you guys know the video game. And I'm working with like insane talent to make that all like a reality, right? And yeah, ultimately, like the people people that you meet, will come to you with future opportunities. And if they like working with you and they think that you're talented, they'll reach out in the future. So ultimately, I think that it's super important to surround yourself with people who are following the same dream as you, and hopefully, you know, it's even better if they're more successful than you, because then they can help. They're paving the path, and you can just kind of like, you know, be like, hey, like, have you experienced this? You know, ask for their advice, etc., etc. But yeah, I think network is super important. So always be willing to network with almost anyone. Honestly, like there's been people who I've known from just college that have connected me with people that happen to be in my industry. Like who knows? You know, it's just crazy. Like people meet people, and so you should treat everyone nice, and don't try and get stuff out of everyone that you meet. But you know, treat people nice, and you know, have a strong network. I think that's super important. Anyway, those were the big lessons I took away from my 1-year anniversary of being a professional mangaka / webtoon author. Actually, I've been a professional for a while, but this is my first year doing it full time, every day of the week, right? So this is amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. We're trying to put out more videos frequently on the YouTube channel, as I always say. And yeah, I try to keep these lessons kind of general because they can apply to you regardless of what your profession is. So thanks so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Subscribe.